Hello, welcome to the 6:30 show. I'm Gail Mellors, guiding you through half an hour of topical chat and discussion with a couple of locals on the sofa and, as ever, your views. So coming up tonight, going once, going twice, as railway antiques go under the hammer, we ask what hidden gems are buried in your attic. Nature everywhere. We find out the best place to appreciate the county's wildlife. Razor wars as the trend for beards continues to rise. Shaving companies' profits drop. Are you a fan of the facial fuzz? Every day we invite a couple of Notts folk in to sit on our sofa to share their views on the talking points of the day. So tonight we've got with us Roy Bond, a magician from Hyson Green, and Pam Burrows, a motivational speaker living in Forest Fields. Back in the day, you couldn't beat a bit of Paul Daniels on the telly, pulling rabbits from hats and sawing Debbie McGee in half. But magic, it's fair to say, has come a long way since and is now perhaps even considered cool, with the likes of David Blaine and Dynamo taking it on to the next level. So, Roy, you entertain the crowds up and down the country. Would you say that people expect more from their magicians?
They do indeed, yeah. I'm constantly under pressure to reinvent myself and to go the extra step. Yeah. Well,
have you brought along any? Have you got anything pick up your sleeve tonight you could show us?
Well, I have. I was thinking today that how valuable it is to be able to take things from people to do a routine with, rather than use my own things, because the chances are. Well, yeah, if you like. I mean, I brought a shoelace this evening, or a couple of them, and I wonder if I could borrow. Do you have a choice of shoelace, by the way?
Well, that one's rather funky.
Well, thank you very much.
We'll go with that.
Could I borrow a ring from you? Would that be okay?
I was expecting this. Yeah.
Good.
I will see it back. I will get it back later.
The good thing, eventually. The good thing about this is, because it's yours, we don't need to check. The lace is mine. Would you like to check it, or do you trust me?
Well,
I have a face that you probably wouldn't trust. So
we'll go with that.
The thing with this is, because it's your ring. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed. Because it's your ring, I think this is probably as straightforward as I can be with you. If you take the loose ends for me, please. Would you say I was being quite fair with you at the moment?
Yeah, I can see what you're doing.
Would you lift the lace above my hand until it stops? You'll get to a point where you can't really go any further. Yeah. Would you like to check the lace one more time? Right. Just make sure everything's...
OK.
So from the middle. Yeah, from the middle. I suppose also that the thing is with this, because it's yours and because it's in my hands, you would expect strange things to happen. You mentioned that I could probably try and steal this from you and keep it. Would that be... Take the loose ends in one hand. Give me your right hand. Turn it over. I'm going to give you the ring back. I'm going to try and steal it from you. So there's really only one way you can stop me, by squeezing very hard. But while you have the ring, does that feel strong to you?
Yeah, I can feel it.
Would you turn your hand over and drop the ring? I'll catch it, and you can check the lace again. Do you want to check the lace one more time?
Very good.
Are you OK with that? I can carry on. I've got another one here that you might enjoy. This is really quite good. From where you're sitting, this is perfect, because you can see everything that I'm doing. When you let go of the ring, did you feel any kind of heat sensation from that at all? Any kind of discomfort? Do I make that look easy?
You do make it look extremely easy, yeah.
Take the loose ends for me. Lift it very slowly.
Well, I'm going to be impressed if it's on the end of it.
I think you'll like that.
Ooh. We're impressed.
So to finish the routine, I want you to think back to when you were a little girl. What was the first knot you ever tied?
Oh, right, OK. Well, in the brownie guides, perhaps a simple one.
Probably a shoelace or something. Give me a shoelace. You can put a bow in there if you like.
OK.
And what's your last name, Gail?
It's Mellors.
I'm going to get you an insurance form before we go any further.
Oh, dear.
The thing about the insurance is it just covers me for any eventuality. Do you still want to play?
OK.
I don't really carry any insurance.
Should I be doing this, Sue?
We don't have insurance. It's just to wind you up to the point where you don't want to play anymore. You see, the thing is, your ring has gone. It has disappeared, and I'm going to give you a clue as to where the ring is. Just give me a second. I'll print this out for you, see what you think. Once the ink's dry, when the ink's dry, you can remove the card from the frame. And if you turn that over, there'll be a little clue there on the back for you.
Zip pocket in wallet.
So it's probably this one, and you don't have a wallet yourself. So would you take the zip down on the spine of the wallet for me, please? Inside there, there'll be a sealed envelope. Would you remove the sealed envelope for me, please?
No way.
On the face of it, it says just in case. So in case your ring
No way.
has disappeared.
We're going to be impressed with this, aren't we, Sue? Yeah. Whoa! Eat your heart out, David Blaine. Look at that. How did that go in there? That's fantastic.
Thank you very much. I'll try my best for you.
Oh, well done.
Fantastic.
A collection of railway memorabilia went under the hammer today in Nottingham. Everything from old station benches to station clocks. Richard Shaw had been putting together his collection for years, and it was all up for grabs today. Stephen Clark is from the auction house.
The reason it's unique is because it's one person's collection, and obviously with it being that way, a lot of the people that have come in today actually knew this gentleman, and obviously with everything, the pictures, the prints and the lot, it's really quite an exclusive. On this particular table we have a folder full of prints. These would have been collected by this gentleman over a considerable amount of time, and I should imagine this collection has probably been collected over 30-40 years, and maybe even more, by maybe other people that were involved with his family, you know, his father, his grandfather. And what we have here is a Great Eastern Railway station bench. Because it's so old and because of its past life, somebody might find out something about it and find out where it was and what position it was on the platform, what railway station it was at. It's that nostalgic episode of the early 1900s when the railways were coming into their own with steam and everything else. So I think it's got an awful lot going for it.
Well, do you have any hidden gems in your attic? Perhaps not a steam locomotive, but maybe a one-off original or something sentimental worth a fortune but you wouldn't part with for all the tea in China? Well, we've been hitting the streets to find out, starting with an interesting original kept in the larder on Goosegate.
The sign is original. That's from the first Jesuits pharmacy, which is actually based in this building on the first and the second floor. So yeah, we are literally in the original building, which most of the features are original in the restaurant.
I buy my antiques from Matlock and all over the country. Whenever I go away, I like finding antique shops. There's a lovely one in York. I buy old paintings, old vases, wartime memorabilia.
One of my old guitars from the 70s. Hopefully when I'm 70, it might be worth a few quid. I've got a few oil paintings that my granddad left me, but they're in the loft. But I'm not really sure about knowing if they're any good or not, but I'm sure they're probably valuable.
I have got an antique sweet cabinet from a sweet shop from the 1930s, which I managed to get for absolutely nothing. It's probably worth about £400 or £500 now.
So I bought an amazing bit of jewellery not that long ago, which I wear, so I love that.
Interesting stuff. Well, Pam, forgive me, I got your name wrong earlier. Do you have any antiques? Do you know anything about it?
I don't have anything valuable, but I have bought things at auction, which I find very exciting. But I do have to be careful, because that whole thing when you're in, you know, sometimes you see it on the television where there's bidding, and if there's somebody else bidding and it's something I kind of want, I have to make sure I set a ceiling on what I'm going to bid for, because once I get excited and my heart's racing up, oh yeah, I keep sticking my hand up and whatever.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? It's so easy to get carried away.
Absolutely.
But it really is having an eye for a birth bargain. Yeah. And you, Roy, I mean, have you got anything valuable other than the things that you steal from people in magic tricks?
Well, I have some what magicians may call collector's items. I have some old props and some old gimmicks that I still use, if I'm honest. Not this evening. But yeah, I have. They're kind of prized. They're in a box, in a drawer, in a cupboard, out of the way. And,
well,
and
don't
if you came
tell
across
us too much more, because I don't want to give you any magic circle secrets
that'll be
away.
fine. That'll be fine.
So when you go to these auctions, Pam, what kind of things catch your eye?
Well, I quite like to buy furniture. When fortunately I've got quite a bit of space. Well, I've got much less space now because I've bought things from auction. But there's such a fashion now for quite light-coloured furniture that if you go to auction and there's something in quite a dark wood. You know, I remember a set of, I didn't buy them, but there were a set of 12 dining chairs, and the bids started at £2, and they were solid wood.
Wow.
And quite good condition, but because they were dark wood, nobody wanted them, so you could have got 12 chairs for £2. You think, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tend to go for furniture, and some of the solid stuff is lovely.
What's the most you've spent?
It's probably a couple of hundred on something really beautiful. But again, you know, what I'd been doing previously is going to a certain furniture superstore and putting it together myself, and then
much better to get the real thing at auction.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, because you just end up, where's the Allen key? I'm going to have to tighten this up again. It's all starting to wobble.
Do auctions appeal to you?
Magic auctions are good for me.
Okay.
We have meetings.
Niche.
We have meetings where we have magic auctions and we have sell-offs of things. And
things disappear quickly, do they?
Yeah, they do. They do really. Your money disappears quicker, generally, and you'll very often come across things for sale that people aren't always quite sure what they do. But if you're in the know, you know what they are. So you look out for things like that. Yeah, I do. So
obviously bidding sometimes not just against magicians, but members of the public as well.
No, it's just for magicians invited to the auction. You see, we're all very secretive.
You are, aren't you? Secret club.
And I can't even tell you where that is. No.
Okay. Well, we'll be grilling you later. So time now for a short break. When we come back, big beards are all the rage, but are you a fan? Your thoughts after this. We'll also be hearing about who people would like to lead Nottinghamshire. Should Nottinghamshire be granted independence? Obviously, it's a very historic day today in Scotland. How would that translate back here in the county? You'll need to stay tuned to get all of that and more. See you then.
The Big BT Summer Sale is now on. Get our lowest ever price on BT Infinity fibre optic broadband plus unlimited UK weekend calls. It's £5 a month for the first 6 months and £15 a month after that. And you'll get free BT Sport, which you can watch online or on the Sky Digital satellite platform. It's so good, 9 out of 10 BT Infinity customers would recommend it to friends and family. And it's a sizzling £5 a month for the first 6 months. Hurry, the Big BT Summer Sale ends 22nd of September. Call today on 0800 500 282 or visit bt.com/sale.
You know there's a 50% chance of rain. You know there's a 70% chance there'll be a grazed knee by the end of the day. But did you know there's a 90% chance of successfully treating bowel cancer if it's detected early? If you're aged 60 to 74, an NHS bowel cancer screening kit will be posted out to you. If it hasn't been, ask for one. It only takes a few minutes over the course of a week to complete the test, all in the privacy of your own home. Then return the kit to us by free post. For peace of mind, complete and return your test or speak to your GP.
Explore Nottingham's hidden gems at Victoria Centre Market. We have 65 specialist retailers, offering you a fantastic choice and amazing savings. You'll find retailers who really know their trade. From fresh meat and fish to fruit and veg, from exotic pet supplies and textiles to rapid phone repairs, handbags, gardening and gifts. Visit us at the upper level of Victoria Centre opposite John Lewis. Discover Nottingham's best kept secret today.
Welcome back to the 6:30 show. I'm Gail Mellors. Joining me on the sofa tonight, magician Roy Bond from Hyson Green and Pam Burrows, a motivational speaker from Forest Fields. Welcome. Now, on to the birds and bees. No, not that awkward question you might have with the kids, but a lovely slice of the great outdoors. A Nottinghamshire man is raising funds to publish a book celebrating the county's wildlife. Ian Chambers caught up with photographer Jack Perks, who told him the best places to get up close and personal to nature.
So, Jack, on your average day out looking for wildlife, what is it that you're looking for?
Well, you don't have to have an underwater camera like this to go find stuff. So, I mean, I like to look for things like kingfishers down on the local river. We saw that wagtail this morning. But I'll look for absolutely everything, you know, from the smallest insect to the largest deer.
And how easy is it to spot wildlife? I mean, for example, if our viewers wanted to get out there, where could they be looking and what would they be looking for?
The main thing with wildlife photography is patience. You've got to be so patient waiting for things. You can't just blunder up to something because it's going to spook. So waiting for the wildlife, and also you don't have to have big expensive cameras like this. You know, a camera phone is ideal to take wildlife pictures now. Great. And I mean, what can people be seeing out there? Well, here in Nottingham, I mean, we've got so much. You know, all the parks have got lots of wildlife. As I've mentioned, like the city centre's got plenty, and all the fantastic nature reserves have got so much to offer.
Great, Jack. Shall we see if we can find a kingfisher?
Let's do it.
Let's have a look.
Well, some fantastic shots there. Now, Pam, we billed you as a motivational speaker, but I happen to know that your particular field of interest is health and well-being. So, obviously, would you say, how important is it for us to get out and about in the countryside?
I think it should be on prescription.
Yeah.
I think it should be something everybody does. And even though I teach it to other people, I forget sometimes. And my partner will say to me, you need to just get out in the garden, you know, after the day you've had. And we've got rabbits that live outdoors and they're making burrows and stuff in the garden, and I just go sit and watch them, and the trees are blowing in the wind,
yeah.
fresh air, and there's just something that just lifts the spirit no matter what else is going on. I remember seeing a programme a couple of weeks ago about a hospital where they've been able to make a garden where they can wheel actual beds outside, and people's recovery rates are quicker.
It is regarded as very therapeutic, isn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, just the simple thing of getting back to nature. Roy, is it something you make time for?
Yeah, because I travel quite a lot, I'm in it most of the time. There's a few venues that I work at that involve a lot of countryside driving, not too far from here, by the way, surrounded by forests and stuff. So when
we know the area.
Yeah, when I'm working my way in and working my way out, there are all sorts of things coming out of the woods at you, in the woods at you, looking at...
It's so close, isn't it? And it even actually bleeds into the urban areas as well.
It does, yeah.
It's all around us, actually.
I have an area of land at the back of my house, and I'm finding most mornings there's a fox there just waiting for me to get out of the way so he can do what he needs to do, and, you know...
But obviously sometimes foxes spook people out, Pam. Do you welcome them?
Well, we did have chickens up until recently, so foxes were, you know, something that we had to manage. And one of the chickens did get attacked once, but I think it's about how we manage all of that. You know, I certainly wouldn't want to get rid of the foxes or any other creature, really, because I think it's a whole system.
Yeah,
it's
we should be able to rub along side by side.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Well, it wasn't so long ago that employers demanded their employees be cleave-shaven, but sometimes it's changed, and now everyone seems to be sporting some kind of facial hair, whether that be a full-on beard, designer stubble, or a carefully cultivated patch on the chin, like Roy here. Well, the knock-on effect of this is that shaving companies are now in a price war as shaving product sales are being squeezed. So, are you a fan of the beard, or is the fresh face look the one for you?
I love it. I don't want it to get too long, but I just like something, you know, just a bit of hair makes me look a bit older.
I don't like them big, massive beards, but you know, just a little bit of like stubble. I like it. What about you? Yeah, stubble's okay on a guy. Yeah.
Oh, they're brilliant. They're brilliant. They keep you warm in the winter, and you can hide behind them as well. And even now, we're getting ready for Christmas. They think you're Santa.
When we're walking in through town, you know, you see some nice ladies, and you go, "Hello, hi, how you going? You okay?" It looks stimulating on a man. That's what I think.
Keeps your face warm. The missus has never seen me without it.
My partner has a beard, so I quite like it. I refuse to let him shave it off. He's got to keep it at all times. Quite like it.
Only my brother just saying that it looks messy, but I don't care.
Well, some interesting views there. Well, you've also all been keeping us entertained today with your beardy selfies. So much so, we've decided to hold a competition to find the best, and who better to judge, of course, is Roy. So let's see the first contestant. This is Nigel here with, well, quite a lot of hair there. Always had a beard, he says, and always will. Then we go to Andy with... well, that's quite an impressive beard as well. And Rob we have next, if we can see Rob there. Very interesting pattern formed there. And then we've got Sam. He tells us if razors weren't so expensive, then it wouldn't be a problem. And finally, Paul, who tells us that the ladies just love his stubble. Have we got a winner, Roy?
We have indeed, yeah. It would be the first gentleman.
The first one, that's Nigel.
Yeah. He has a coiffured look at the edges there.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
quite a look he's rocking there.
Absolutely, yeah.
He also looks a little bit like our lion head rabbits. They have that kind of handlebar thing going on. So, yeah, I'll vote for him too.
So, Roy, a very distinctive facial hair there you have.
Yes.
What prompted that?
It was the need to stand out a little bit and be a little bit different.
Yeah, almost wizardry-like.
Yeah, you could say that.
Fits the profession.
Yeah, it does. It does, and it was just it shows my character a little bit. Yeah. I'm a little bit strange. Yeah, quirky. I like that.
A little bit twisted.
A bit twisted. Yeah.
Or is that unfair?
Yeah, I'm a bit twisted. No, you're right. You're right. But the thing is, my thinking behind it when I first grew it and did it how I've done it now was, if you were in a room of 50 other magicians, for instance, and we were all equally good, you'd probably remember me, just because of the beard.
Yeah, you certainly would. It certainly make an impression. But obviously we're seeing lots of people with facial hair now. It is certainly the trend. Very noticeable as well. What do we think, Pam, is that something that we welcome? Or I think it's a bit of a throwback to the 70s, but that's just me.
I think it's nice for there to be a fashion for men, because I think there's so little that men can do with their look. You know, women colour their hair, they change it short and long, and I think it's quite fun. And I like it where they've you know, kind of shaped it and kept it quite neat. I think that can look quite smart. We think of beards maybe being scruffy, but actually I think some beards can be
because
really
neatly
quite dapper.
Trimmed works, but maybe when it gets a little bit overgrown, a little bit unkempt.
And I think checking that you haven't got your dinner in it, I think that's absolutely essential. You know, it's
like a carry-out, isn't it? You can have that later. Just
save it for Ron.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So is that the look you're going to keep forever? Or
I think so. There are times when I'm with friends and they keep threatening to take it off.
Yeah, but you're hanging on to it.
Yeah, and when they light cigarettes up and they kind of try and light the beard and stuff.
No.
It's the kind of friends I have, you know. Yeah.
Well, OK. Well, finally, we couldn't let it pass without mentioning today's the day that history will be made one way or another in Scotland. But imagine if Nottinghamshire was to be granted independence. Who would you want to see as head of state ruling over the county? Well, here are some very interesting suggestions.
I'll do it myself. I'm as good as anybody. I've got as much brains as them that runs the council and everything at the moment. I think I could do it. Especially if we get paid what they get paid.
I can't think of any one person that could possibly do the job, because it's such a wide and diverse city. But I do think that whoever it is needs a very, very good local knowledge.
It would have to be someone who's local, who's from Nottingham, and someone who's got Nottingham's best interest at heart. Normally someone who had been born and brought up here. I think that's the most important thing.
I would think, if he was still alive, would be Brian Clough, because he's got the OBE, which is the old big head, and he was a know-it-all anyway, and I should imagine that we should have gave him a chance, I guess.
I think the best person would have to be Robin Hood, but only if he looked like Russell Crowe. He would get my vote.
So I think I, as Robin Hood, should be ruling this town if we're independent.
Well, yes, perhaps we agree. So, a novel idea, Nottinghamshire going it alone. Who would you like to see in charge, Pam?
Well, I've been doing a bit of work lately with schools and with university students, and I think I'd quite like to take a risk and hand it over to young people.
Yeah.
So I think you just forget sometimes how open-minded and creative you are at that age, and I think they'd be much better at saying, do you know what, we don't have to do it that way because we always have. Let's do something different. So I think. Yeah.
So Roy, for you, would independence for Nottinghamshire be magic?
No, it wouldn't. No, there's only really one person I think could do the job. Judge Judith Shindlin, I think. Strong, powerful woman. Bring her in, a bit of new blood into Nottingham, put her in charge. She'd have it under control in seconds.
And what changes would you like to see her introduce?
Probably a little bit more law and order, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit more sensible law and order. Not too, I don't know, no health and safety madness. A bit more straightforward.
Yeah.
hands-on stuff. Yeah, definitely.
So do you think we could stand on our own without the support of London?
I think we could, but I think, you know, everything's better with more folks and more partnerships and sharing, you know, the stuff that other places have that we don't and vice versa. And, you know, and we want Robin Hood to, you know, be known all across. So I think partnerships are really a stronger way to go about things.
And what would you like those partnerships to achieve, just very briefly?
Well, I think happiness. Leave it to that. World peace and happiness.
Yeah, we're all in search of that.
Yeah, that's across the board, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, perhaps you could conjure that up for us another time.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good, really. I don't know how good do you think I am?
Almost.
Yeah, you must think I'm Harry Potter's dad.
Thanks very much for joining us. And that's all for tonight. Thanks to Roy and Pam, our sofa guests this evening, and to you for joining us. Have a good evening. Goodbye.
Explore Nottingham's hidden gems at Victoria Centre Market. We have 65 specialist retailers, offering you a fantastic choice and amazing savings. You'll find retailers who really know their trade. From fresh meat and fish to fruit and veg, from exotic pet supplies and textiles to rapid phone repairs, handbags, gardening and gifts. Visit us at the upper level of Victoria Centre opposite John Lewis. Discover Nottingham's best kept secret today.
When I joined H3, I just wanted to get a bit more toned and stay fit. But the social part of H3 makes it really fun and easy to make new friends. I really look forward to coming and feel better now than I have in my whole life.
H3 Performance put the energy back into fitness. With programmes individually designed to suit you, we mentor, motivate and inspire you to achieve your own personal goals. Call today and start your own H3 story.
Good morning, sir. Just a few questions. Is your trip for business or pleasure?
Pleasure.
Lovely.
I'm going on holiday.
And where will you be staying while you're there?
With my mum and dad. Yeah, no,
right, that's lovely.
Well, they live out there.
Travel insurance?
No, thanks.
Have you got travel insurance?
No.
Taken a photocopy of your passport? Check to see if you need any vaccinations for where you're going? Picked out the laws of the country, the local do's and don'ts?
No, look, why do I need to know all of that? You know, I'm staying with my mum and dad.
Oh, is your mother A, a qualified local lawyer, B, a top surgeon, C, fabulously wealthy, or D, none of the above?
D.
Lovely. Is your father A, the local chief of police, B, the owner of a private plane with its own onboard, fully trained medical staff, C, fabulously wealthy, or D, none of the above?
D.
Oh, lovely. Final question, are you actually a superhero and therefore immortal? Thank you, sir, that's lovely. Have a good trip.
Check it out before you check in at fco.gov.uk/friends and family.
For real training, for a real career in art, design or photography, apply now for September courses at Central.
Whether it's your first game, the anticipation of a long-awaited reunion, or that make-or-break business meeting, by phone, by app, and online. DG Cars, for all of life's journeys.
At Lindsay James, we offer women quality clothing that stands out from the high street with a service that matches. We're focused on offering a personal touch tailored to your needs, helping you achieve the look you want, be it for the everyday or that special day.
Our coffee is all fairly traded. We've had a lot of customers tell us that it's the best in Nottingham, which, of course, makes us really happy.
Look, I'll ask him. Are you the house whisperer?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Can you ask our house what insurance would make it happy?
Of course.
Easy, big fella.
For the cover your home deserves, visit Go Compare.